It's your energy that's keeping you broke. Boom. What does that mean? We hear lots of talk about money is just energy. You got to shift your energy. You got to shift this and that and the other. But how do you do that? We hear so many experts out there talking about energy shifting. Explain that to me. You ever heard that phrase? I remember when I first heard the phrase that money's just energy. Well, luckily I heard it from someone who was really wealthy. So I took note. Had I heard that from someone who was broke, I'd be like, you don't really know what you're talking about. The fact that it came from someone extremely wealthy, it got my attention. And I started to think about, what does that mean? I spent some time dwelling on that idea. Money's just energy. I'm like, money's just energy. You know, we get up money from our pockets and we say, well, it's just energy. You know what? Money's just energy. It's just energy. That's all there is. Do they mean that you put it under a microscope and it's moving, right? It's vibrating, it's moving, it's energy? Or does it mean something deeper? If money's just energy and you understand energy, why don't you have enough money? Because a lot of people don't understand what that actually means. Money is energy. I want you to think about this. Imagine that inside your subconscious mind, there's like a super chip. You know those little chips that you have in computers, right? Little devices. Imagine there's one of those in your subconscious mind. Now that chip is causing a signal, and that signal is emitting a certain level of energy. Just like your phone, got the cell phone. Now when you're trying to make a phone call, you see that sometimes you've only got one bar. You'll probably agree with me, when you have one bar, you can't really make the phone call because it says call failed, depending on where you are in the world, right? Or it makes doot, 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 doot. The signal has low energy. Just like that. The energy that you're sending out into the universe, when it comes to your money game, when it comes to your financial success, your financial status, the signal that your subconscious mind is sending out is a very low energy. So if you're programmed to earn, let's say 10,000 a month, that's all you're earning, and you can't break past that. You hear phrases like, you know what? Money's just energy. It's just energy. That's all it is. Yeah, just tap into the frequency of energy. Okay, smart ass, how do you do that? How do you tap into the frequency of energy? Oh, you sit there, you say affirmations, you close your eyes and you feel wealthy. You're driving around like you're wealthy, like you own the place. They talk about money goes to money. What does that mean? Money is a state of mind. What does that mean? We hear all these expressions. I'm like, give me some more. Money's just energy. That energy level that you're sending out, you're programmed to earn 10,000. That's the only level of energy that you're sending out into the universe. Okay, it's the program. Until you change that program, your energy field does not change. You're constantly sending the same magnetic frequency out into the universe. The universe will then respond back with like energy. You heard the phrase like attracts like. This is what it means. Like energy attracts like outcomes, resources. So like energy, like energy, like energy, like attracts like. You're asking yourself why you're not earning more, because guess what? Like attracts like, the energy that you're sending out. But Mindy, no, I'm a positive thinker. I always say affirmations. I really believe in myself. Yet nothing's changing. Well, nothing's going to change if the program don't change. Now, it's just like you're watching your TV, right? You got boxing on. Canelo Alvarez is kicking the out someone, right? He's out there boxing someone up. Now, you want to watch, let's say, Phantom of the Opera. Now, do you think Phantom of the Opera where'd that come up from, Phantom of the Opera? Never even heard about that before, right? But Phantom of the Opera, you want to watch that. How can you expect to watch that when you got Canelo on there, right, giving somebody an uppercut? Unless you change that channel, unless you pick up your remote and change that channel, or you say, hey, Alexa, put the Phantom of the Opera on. Ain't nothing going to happen.
No, Mindy.
So why do you expect anything to happen if you're not working on the root cause of the money condition? It's a condition. Just like we have a medical condition. Let's say I talk about sciatica a lot because I used to suffer with those lower back pains from sciatica. I would go to the doctor, chiropractor and stuff, and they'd give me exercises to do. The doctor would firstly pump me with drugs, take some anti-inflammatories, take those. Pain would go away temporarily, mask the pain. But still it's persisting, right? So once the drugs have worn off, the pain's still there. So you're just masking the problem. And then what I do is I go to the physio, go to the chiropractor. They gave me some right exercises to do. Now, only when I started to do those exercises did the pain go permanently. So I was able to run again. Just like that. Unless you treat the symptom. You don't just treat the symptom, you treat the root cause of the symptom. Symptom is on the surface and the root cause is what's causing that symptom in the first place. Now, we've got to fix the energy game. We hear phrases like, money's so hard to earn. Money's the root of all evil. The rich are scum. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Money's just a state of mind. What does that mean, money's a state of mind? Money's a state of consciousness. Well, it's interesting that, isn't it? Money's just energy. We look at, it's hard to earn money. I want to earn 50,000. I'm only doing like 5,000 right now. My goal is to get to 50,000 or more so I can live the life. I'm going to be a millionaire. You hear all these people say, yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire. I know I am. They talk a good talk. But here's the thing. Until you understand one thing, nothing's big or small. Everything just is. I used to think that 25,000 is a lot of money because I wasn't making that. Because I was making 2,500 bucks a month. So 25,000 for me looked up there. There's a massive gap. Now, I'd never earned 25,000 bucks. That was my goal, one of my goals. And so I'm looking at constantly where I am. So I'm thinking to myself, it's taken me all this time, effort, energy, all these years, all these different industries that I've been in, and I'm at 2,500. And I've been in business for, at that point, 10, 12 years, whatever that was. Now I'm thinking, look, it's going to take me another 10, 12 years to get to like double it, because I look at all the things I've done, how much I spent on marketing, all the effort, energy that I put in. And I'm thinking, you know what, for me to get double my income, it's going to take me double the amount of time. So I've got to work longer and harder. You ever thought that? When you look at earning more money, the first thing comes to your mind is, well, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? The how, you shouldn't be worried about the how. You should ask yourself a question. Firstly, do I want to earn 25,000 or not? And then firstly, when you make a decision, then you start to like think differently. But it's got to be a real solid decision. Now, it's your perception that makes that 10,000, that 20,000, that 100,000 big. If you change your perception about it, you break that down. People on about a million, they want to earn $1 million in a year. Now, if you break the million down and you break it down, it's about 84,000 a month that you got to do. So take your focus off the million and start focusing on incremental like levels, right? Okay, let's say you want to earn 50,000. Let me get my calculator out, right? So you want to earn 50,000 a month, right? So just say there's 30 days in a month. So all you got to do is divide that 50,000 into 30 days. Right now, you've only got to make $1,666 a day, okay, consistently for 30 days, and you've got the 50,000 by default. So now, if you look at it, now the perception's changed. Now we've taken that 50,000 and we've made that 50,000 look tiny. Now all you got to do is every single day find a way of how I can get to 1,666 every single day. You do it once, you do it again, and that forms a habit. Now, once you get to like you carry on doing that every single day. Guess what? You might not do the 1,600. You only might do 1,000, right? You might do $1,000 a day, but then you're still at 30,000. And you think, well, I've got to 30,000. Then what happens is that your belief starts to change. Your perception around money starts to change. Let's say you might be doing 5 or 10,000, but now you change some of your habits, you change some of your beliefs. Remember, it's just a perception. It's just the way you look at it. Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. When I did the 26K month. And I remember I did it in it wasn't even a month. I did it in about 6 days, in fact. I call it a month because I started to coast for the rest of the month. I made my 26 grand. I'm like, hey, I'm celebrating. So I took my foot off the gas when really I could have done 50K that month. But because I was so happy and satisfied that I'd reached I hit my goal, I took my foot off the gas. And that was a dick move to do, right? But I was so happy that I did 26. So now I'm looking, I've done 26. Now I can do 50. If I can do 26, I can double that. So once you get to that 50, or once you get to that 30,000, guess what? Next month, you could possibly double that. You can go to 60. Then once you get to 60, you might stay there for a little while because you're going to make some mental adjustments. And then what? Your energy starts to shift, right? Because now you're sending out a different signal into the universe. That chip I was on about, it starts to operate at a higher frequency. The signal starts to get stronger because your belief has increased massively. You get to your 50, exactly what I did when I went to my first 9K day, did my 26K month, did my 50K month, 80K, 100K, 250, 350, 400, and 500K months. That's what I did. I shifted my energy through the practical use of what I know. Accumulation money is a law that you've got to understand. It works for everyone in a certain way, but it only works if you know how to apply it. We repel money. We do through our energy, through our ideas that we have subconsciously. No, I have a really healthy relationship to money, people say. I have a really healthy relationship to money. I believe money is good, but I'm only making 5,000 a month. Well, that just shows, my friend, my sister, my brother, that you don't have a good relationship to money, because if you had, you would have more money. So my goal is 50,000 a month. You might be listening to this, well, how do you earn 50,000 a month? Well, I went from 2,500 a month. If I can go from there to 500K months in a very short space of time, anybody can do it. But you just got to adjust your thinking. You got to adapt your mind. You got to firstly accept the idea. Hey, listen, there's a way. People are doing it, right? You know people that you hear people doing it. You see people doing it. Why can't you do it? Because it's simple. You have a very poor relationship to money. No, going back. No, I have a great relationship to money. But do you? On a conscious level, On the surface level, you may feel that yes, money's good, but where it really takes place is unconsciously, like below the surface. You know, you've seen those images of the subconscious mind. There's this big iceberg in the ocean, that blue in the Antarctica, whatever it's called, right? And you can see the tip of the iceberg on the top, right? Big fucking piece of ice that took the Titanic out, apparently, right? But we're not going to get into that. And below the surface, you see this big, gigantic fucking mountain of an iceberg, right? And only the small amounts at the top on the surface, but the real deeper stuff is right down below. It's just like a tree. You see a big tree, right? You see the tree, it might be in your, like, 3 doors up, and yet the tree trunks, right, the roots go all the way underneath your neighbor's house and this house and that house. Guess what? They're actually taking out part of your house, and it starts to disrupt the foundation of your house. So the root cause, the belief around money, the relationship around money is a lot more deeper than just the surface. So you got stuff going on underneath. Right, there's like nerve endings there, right? Going into your subconscious mind, they're killing the energy field that you're sending out, and you'll never get rich. It's like a safe, right? You see them big safes, right? You go into the bank, you see this big safe in the background. It's got this big, like, steering wheel thing on it, loads of different numbers, and you're wondering, how do you open that? There's a different combination, a certain combination that you need to open that, right? There's a certain way, click, 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 and then it opens. That's where the treasure's buried in your unconscious mind. The scary thing is, everybody has got this. Everybody, even the dumbest kid that you saw at school that you thought was dumb, everybody has access to this. Even the person sitting next to you right now while you're driving and listening to this, even the last person that you spoke to on the phone, on your messenger, your partner, your husband, your wife, your child, your son, your dad, your mum, your grandparents, we all have this. Everybody does. But what happens is people get buried underneath the type of a person they see themselves to be, the perception they have of themselves. That's the only problem. Once you change the way how you see yourself and you start to challenge some of those beliefs, it's going to change. The game is going to change. I remember, like, talking about money is energy. Let's go back to that for a minute. Money is just energy. I remember when I discovered this for myself. I remember I had a business, right? I needed to purchase some, like, marketing materials from somebody that was over in Ireland. My mentor, I didn't call him a mentor. My scammer, the guy who scammed me out a load of money, he was my so-called mentor. He put me in touch with this guy from Ireland. He had this marketing material, like loads of like big fucking DVD sets and stuff, and we couldn't find it anywhere. He goes, look, I know someone who's got a copy. Go buy it from them. The guy's in Ireland. He goes, you might be able to nick it off him because he's struggling for money. He's got 6 kids, and you might be able to shaft him, right? He'll take whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to just take advantage of the guy just because, he needs the money. It's the wrong thing to do. And I needed more money as well that time. I was broke, in debt. I done a deal with the guy. I said, listen, he had 6 kids. I thought, what's the fair price? I thought £100 per kid. This is in the depth of the recession, right? Back in, I think it's about 2000, I don't know when it was, 8, 7 or whatever it was. And he was really bad, struggling. And I remember I gathered some money, right? Had my last bit of money, gathered it together, $600 there. I remember going to the Halifax Bank on Silver Street in Bedford. Took all the wad of money, and I'm like, I really need this money, but I knew that this guy was struggling with his kids. He needed money. He needed to feed his kids, 6 kids. Come on. I remember going into the queue and I was holding this wedge of money like this. I had this wedge of money, I was holding it. And I was kind of like just giving it some good energy. I don't know what I was doing. I was just like kind of blessing it. I thought it was like one of those church fathers or something, right? Just blessing the money like a monk or something, just blessing something. I started doing this unconsciously. And I remember going to the queue. The lady said, right, next please. I said, I'm not ready yet. I'll let the lady behind me go. So I'm like, come on. And what I was saying inside my mind, I really hope that wherever you're going, you're impacting that person with his 6 kids. I hope you make a big difference. I hope this gives them a lifeline. It brings them food. It brings them happiness. It allows them to sleep at night. And I really want you to bless that family, bring them more abundance. May this money bring them more blessings and make a difference to them. And I was really like giving it with such good energy that I wanted genuinely for that family to like really benefit from what this money was given. I needed it so bad myself. I could have really done with this money, but I let go of it when I was ready. Another lady came. Anyway, cut long story short, I went to the cashier and I said, I'd like to transfer this money, please, to this account in Ireland. I did it. So here's me. Handed the money over only when I felt good about it. I didn't want to send the money out with resentment, with lack, limitation in my mind. And I just sent out with love. And I said to myself, I know this money's going to return back to me. I know it's going to return back to me from God's source of supply. It's going to be abundant. It's going to multiply time and time again. I'm going to have so much more of this coming. I know that this is going to make a big difference to them. I was focusing on where this money was going, not on myself. Pay the money in. About 4 or 5 minutes later, maybe 6 minutes later, I walked out the bank and my phone made this weird ding, 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 ding. What the f***'s going on there? A sound that I'd never heard before. Had this notification of a website that I used to have. Now, I'd never sold anything on this website. And I remember opening up my phone to the website notification. You have received an order for £640 for X amount of product that you're selling. It was to the Four Seasons Hotel in Egypt, I think it was at the time. I never sold anything out of the country, never sold this amount of product anytime. Hadn't sold anything on that site for months. And all of a sudden, I sell something for $640. I paid out $600 earlier on that day. I let that money go with good intention, with abundance, with gratitude, with joy, with such good energy. And all of a sudden, that money just lands in my account, £40 better off, to the Four Seasons Hotel. I think it was a Four Seasons Hotel. You probably Google it, and there ain't no Four Seasons Hotel in Egypt, but it was a major chain of hotels. I was shocked. I remember walking to my car with my mouth open. I'm like, what have I just done there? Because I knew at that point that I'd done this. I found out that I was like Superman, that I could go into a phone box and just spin around, and I've got this Superman costume. I'd done something and it works. I remember a friend of mine, he said, if you've done something and you don't know what you've done, you can't really redo that, right? You can't do that. You can't go and do that again because you don't know what you've done. But on this occasion, I knew what I'd done. And every time I send out money now, I send it out with gratitude. Even if it's a fine, I always send it out with blessing. I never, ever, ever, ever send out money with hate. Oh, I've got to pay this money. With resentment. Oh, fuck it. Never have enough money. There's never enough money. As soon as it comes, it goes. Imagine what energy that you're putting to that money. Imagine what money listens, right? It's got ears. It can hear you, it can feel you. Imagine if you're doing that with money. Do you think money's going to return to you? Think about a guest comes around your house, visits you, and you make that guest feel so uncomfortable. You give them broken biscuits. You don't even offer them a drink. You don't talk to them. You're too busy in your TV on your phone. Do you think they're going to come back to you and visit you often? Probably not. Money works the same way. So from now on, any money that you send out, whether you're paying a bill, you're paying your mortgage, you're paying someone, you're buying fuel, you're buying a coffee, you're buying a sandwich, whatever level of money you're spending, even if it's just $1, send it out with good intention. Send it out. Say, I'm so happy. Go bless whoever you're going to touch. Every person that you touch, I hope you bless them and bring them more abundance. Everybody. Do that and watch what happens. You'll start to change your relationship with money. Guess what? Money will change its relationship with you. So I want you to think about that. Are you going to do this? Maybe let me know. Follow me on Insta, The Mindy Paul Show. Right, remember, the money game. Send it out with good intention. The next piece of money that you spend out there, even if you're tapping on the card. I don't like cards because it doesn't give you that same money. No, I've got a card here. It's not a bank card, it's a Nectar card, right? They give you that supermarket. You get some, knocks you £4 off your potatoes, right? So they gave me that. So it doesn't have the same feeling, right? You touch your debit card, your credit card. Now, when you touch the cash, it smells different, feels different. You feel so good with this. So next time you go spend some money, I always carry some cash on me so I can pay with cash. Hear that money? Doesn't it sound good? Yeah, sounds good, right? So carry some cash on you. The next piece of money that you spend, send it out with love, gratitude, right? Remember, money is just energy. Don't repel it, attract it. So go do it. Boom.